Like most markets, apartment fundamentals in Greenville, South Carolina cooled in the seasonally slow months, but this is one place where we think momentum could pick back up significantly going forward. Welcome to Apartment Market Dynamics from NPF Research. I'm Jay Parsons with your Upstate South Carolina update. For much of 2010, 2011, and 2012, Greenville's apartment market ranked as one of the best secondary markets across the country. In the past couple of quarters, apartment fundamentals did slip a bit as we've seen a return of seasonality, but there's good reason to think this one could pick back up going forward. Let's take a look at apartment occupancy numbers. You could see that occupancy here surged up quickly in 2010 coming out of the recession. Occupancy cooled off again briefly before settling in that 94 to 95% range beginning in the second half of 2011 and continuing into 2013. And you can see a little bit of a drop off in the past couple of quarters. We think that's just some normal seasonality, something that we didn't see earlier in this cycle when there was so much pent-up demand for apartments, but what we are seeing now across the country is a return to normal. And we see a similar pattern looking at year-over-year rent growth levels. Greenville was among the national leaders for markets of all sizes in the second half of 2010 and much of 2011, when annual rent growth was registering in the 5 to 7% range. Then the numbers since then are becoming in around 4 to 5% through much of 2012, and since then some further cooling. Rents up a less notable 2.5% annually as of Q1 2013, which is right in line with the national average. That traces to a quarter-over-quarter cut in Q4, which was the only time in the past 14 quarters that rents have fallen on a quarter-over-quarter basis. Okay, so some easing, but we are still very high on the Greenville apartment market, and here's why. Number one, Greenville has a surprisingly diverse economy for a market its size. Lots of manufacturing jobs, such as the BMW plant near Greenville, and also lots of business jobs as well. Greenville is something of a business capital for the state of South Carolina. And that leads to reason number two why we like the Greenville market. The metro is drawing a good chunk of educated young adults because A, there are jobs, and B, Greenville has carved out a nice niche as a smaller market in between Charlotte and Atlanta for folks who don't want those larger cities, but still want to find a nice job and other attractive amenities. Greenville has a nice outdoor scene as well as a pretty vibrant downtown for a city its size, and so it's doing a good job of drawing that key young adult demographic that's so important for the apartment market. And Greenville, like Charleston across the state, has seen very, very good growth in the 20-something population over the past 5 years. And the third reason we like Greenville is that unlike Charleston and some of these other hot secondary markets, Greenville isn't seeing much new apartment development yet. Just about 500 units were underway at the end of Q1, and Charleston, by comparison, had 4 times that amount. And this lack of new supply could help the top end of the market continue to thrive, boosting the overall numbers for the metro. Take a look at occupancy by age in the Greenville metro area, and you can see rates around 95% in apartments built in the 2000s and 1990s. The softness is really in those older properties, but Greenville doesn't have a very big stock of units built prior to 1980. Continued tightness in those newer units should allow for some good rent growth at the top end of the market, at least until developers kick new construction back up. We especially like the central Greenville submarket, which has regularly posted healthy occupancy rates and solid rent growth. Now for the Greenville metro overall, look for strong apartment demand in the next couple of quarters, and that should drive occupancy back up around 95%, and for rent growth levels to come in around 3 to 4% annually. And that wraps up for Greenville. So until next time for Apartment Market Dynamics and NPF Research, I'm Jay Parsons. Thank you for watching.
Want more? Go deeper with NPF Research's apartment market reports. From a national level, down to individual metros, to specific neighborhoods, NPF Research has been providing unparalleled apartment market intelligence to the multifamily industry for almost 5 decades. Learn more by contacting us at 877-284-4938 or visit www.npfresearch.com and click on Market Reports.